Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas. All right, everyone, welcome. This is Christmas Eve here on the Sea Island Morning Show. I tell you, I'm by myself today. Trendy Lending is getting ready for the Berry Farms event. This is the Sea Island Morning Show. Yours truly, Sea Island here. We're so excited on this Christmas Eve. I tell you, what we're doing is we're giving back to the community. Today, we will be at, when I say we, the Sea Island Morning Show and the Bennett Career Institute will be at Berry Farms, the community center. Today, what we're doing is we're doing free, R-F-E-E. Most of y'all folks love the word free. We're doing free haircuts, regular haircuts on the little boys, and we're doing free hairstyles on the little girls. This is not for you to get in your car and come across town to Southeast. This is just for the community at Berry Farms. But we just wanted to share with you what we're doing on the Sea Island Morning Show. So we're being a blessing today to the Berry Farms community. So if you know anyone in Berry Farms, it's just for them. You can have them to come out from 11 to 3. We have about 20 team members of the Bennett Career Institute, the Sea Island Salon and Spa, MLK Martin Luther King. You know, I got a lot of emailers from our listeners wondering, why did we choose Berry Farms when we have so many places that we could go? One of the first things is because the Martin Luther King Sea Island Salon is around the corner from the Berry Farms complex. So we felt that it was a great opportunity to give back to the local community where we're servicing the people every day. All right, everybody, today we're talking about Christmas. What does Christmas mean to you? Busting your butt to get gifts, going in debt for one day, or is it spending time with family? I want you to call me. 202, Lord have mercy, 1-800-450-7876, 1-800-450-7876. What we're talking about is, what does Christmas really mean to you? Also, just a couple of announcements. We wanted to give a shout out to Madam C.J. Walker. Her birthday was December the 23rd. Everyone knows that. If you don't know, her real name was Sarah Breedlove. And she was the first female self-made millionaire, okay? She made her fortune by developing and marketing a successful line of beauty products. And I tell the students all the time, all of my students that are up this morning on Christmas Eve, I've told my students and I tell my students all the time, my famous quote from Madam C.J. Walker, it doesn't matter how good you are if nobody knows. And this is very important. I tell that to the students. So I want my listeners to hear me today. It doesn't matter how good you are if nobody knows. What does that mean? That means when I was in Morehouse College, I learned the 3-foot rule. You never let people come within 3 feet of you without you selling yourself and your business. So what we're talking about is we're talking about an opportunity to just market yourself. That's from Sarah Breedlove. So happy birthday, December 23rd. Yesterday was Madam C.J. Walker's birthday. All right. Also, we wanted to remind all of you that we still have openings available at the Bennett Career Institute. What we're doing is we had an open house on the 20th along with the Christmas parties. It was really fantastic. We had a lot of fun. You have to go to my Facebook page so you can see some of the teachers dancing and all that. We just had a lot of fun. But what is important is we do have space available, especially in our night program. So if there's anyone interested, if you know anyone that's interested in cosmetology or barbering, the Bennett Career Institute is definitely the place for you. Very important. If you know anyone interested in cosmetology or barbering, the Bennett Career Institute is the place for you. Also, we wanted to remind the clients that all of the clients and friends of the Bennett Career Institute who come in to get their hair services, that the parking lot is right across the street from the facility. So the parking lot is open, and it is across the street from the facility. But I wanted to start off the show today. Now, we're talking about Christmas. Trendy Lindy, I told you she isn't here. We're getting ready for our big community event at Berry Farms. Someone had mentioned to me, well, why would you do that on Christmas Eve? One, you give the moms an opportunity. Well, first of all, the statistics that was brought to me was so many of the families at Berry Farms one or both of the parents were incarcerated. They also said that there weren't that many opportunities for them to get, it wasn't that many opportunities for them to get gifts and things of that nature. So it was crucial that we do something in that particular community, and that is what we decided to do. We decided to just work with that particular community. So we will be there today, and we're very excited about that. But also, now, if you really want us to come to your area, to your neighborhood, if you have families or if you know families and neighbors, that are really in need, that is what the morning show is about. Even though the Sea Island Morning Show is about beauty, fashion, entertainment, it's all about me as the hair doctor showing you how to create healthy hair, things of that nature. Because of that, it's important to know that it's not just about that, but it's also about giving back to the community. But today I want to hear from you in reference to what does Christmas mean to you. 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. My sister Rhonda Banks is going to be calling in shortly. We're going to be talking. I wanted to share her story with you. When we talk about what does Christmas mean to you, well, for me, it means about family. I want to hear what does Christmas mean to you. It means to me a time of sharing. It means a time to be thoughtful. Now, of course, we're supposed to do this stuff all throughout the year, but also great food, spirituality. These are things that when I think of Christmas, I think about. I thought it was unfortunate. I was on the phone with one of my former students at the Bennett Korea, and he was telling me how a friend of his has stole 2 bikes so he could try to sell it so he can have Christmas for his kids. And I started to think about, and that's one of the reasons why I did the show, because I wanted to talk about all of these people that are going out there doing so much crazy stuff just so they can have a Christmas for their children, and Christmas is one day. But listen, we're going to get to that in a minute. Let me go to this remarkable story. I have Rhonda Banks on the line here. Good morning, Miss Banks. How you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Bennett. I'm doing fine.
Wonderful.
Well.
So let me tell you this story, everyone. For all of my thousands of listeners from Tony and Switzerland all the way down, I want you all to hear this story. On this past week, I believe it was Wednesday, I went to the Comcast Center of the University of Maryland College Park, and I witnessed something, and I was acting like a pure tea fool. I witnessed something that I would never, ever forget. My sister, Rhonda Banks, this is my blood sister, Rhonda Bennett Banks is on the line, and she, a grandmother, I ain't going to tell her age, 50 years old grandmother, walked across that stage and received her bachelor's degree, family science. And I tell you, the only thing that bothered me about that event was I wanted your name to be called so I could fall out through the aisles and fall down the bleachers and land on the floor. I tell you, listen, we're going to have to go to commercial break, but Rhonda, I really, the couple of things that we want to talk about. One, we want to talk about how did you do it as a grandmother, as a mother, as a wife, first lady, to go back to school or to go to school to receive your bachelor's degree in family science? That's the first question. The next one is going to be, is what kind of encouragement can you give all of my seasoned listeners who have now decided to go back to school to receive their college degree? And then finally, we want to talk about what does Christmas mean to you. I was just mentioning before you called in, I had one of the graduates, one of the former students who had said to me that one of his friends has stole 2 bikes to go out to try to sell them so he can get Christmas money to have Christmas for his kids. So We got a lot of stuff to talk about this morning. And I want everyone, if you know someone that's in school, if you know someone that's in training, have them tune in while we're on commercial break, because Sister Rhonda Banks is going to talk to us about how she did it at 50, graduating from college. This is the Sea Island Morning Show. We're talking about what does Christmas mean to you We'll be right back after these messages. Right. All right, everyone, we're back here. We're live here on the C. Allen Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, of course, this is the C. Allen Morning Show, beauty, fashion, education, entertainment. We're on the line with Rhonda Banks this morning, and if you're not following me on Twitter, I need you to follow me. That's THE the C. Allen Morning, THECALAN Morning. So people are asking me, who is Rhonda Banks? All right, everyone. Now, if you're just tuning in, Rhonda Banks is my sister. She's my older sister. And we were before the break, we were talking about how I was so excited and so happy. I tell you, I just got remiss. I said, Lord have mercy, in my old age, I'm starting to get weak. I don't know what's going on. But I was when she came out, I wanted to start crying. My sister, everybody, graduated from the University of Maryland. Today, we're talking about what Christmas means to us, about family, about time of sharing and all of that. Talk to me, Rhonda. Talk to me about what did it mean to you on this past Wednesday, and what kind of encouragement could you give to the listeners?
Well, it meant so much to me. That was a heightened point of my life, to graduate from one of the top universities, top 20 universities in the nation, Research University, University of Maryland, College Park. And I was just so grateful, number one, to God to be able to obtain what I have done through a lot of trials and tribulations. And I was just elated, ecstatic, and all that I've done, going to school and being in class with the young people. And I think the number one goal that people need to understand when going back to school, if they are what I call and what it is named as a non-traditional student, you have to have your self-esteem. It has to be there. And you have to understand what you're going out there and what you're reaching for. And that goal is to obtain education. And then once you receive that education, you must pass it along to others who are not as fortunate as you.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, Rhonda. So now, what made you? A lot of people, once they have their children, you have a daughter who already have a master's degree. So, which means that you've basically done your job. All your children are grown. You have a young daughter that's in college now. What made you decide that most people feel like as long as they can get their children through school, they're okay? What made you decide that you wanted to get your bachelor's degree at 50?
Well, I've always wanted to continue my education. What really was the heightened point for me to realize that this is the time for me to continue to do what I wanted to do. One, I had the vision by the Lord. Second, my mother was most definitely a great inspiration in my life, as well as you. Was a great inspiration, but it was a job that I was working. I worked at the State of Maryland Youth Detention Center, and I would see these African American males come in there, and they would come in there into the system, and I was like, Lord, what can I do to help them? Not once they arrive to the system, but what can I do before they come to the system? And so that's what really started to get my wheels to turn and started to say, hey, I want to start in a different direction and go into family science, which will, deal with families that are disproportionately associated in the prison systems, which will be, start off in the youth center and then you end up into correctional center. So that was another heightened moment in my life to say I want to go back to school.
So now, one of the things that I think is important, I want you to share with the listeners, is I remember you saying one time that one class was on one side of the campus. You had to run to get to this class, to get to that class. So now we got the determination part, but what made you continue to stay with it? A lot of people start stuff, but they don't finish it. So once you started realizing that it was somewhat of a struggle being a non-traditional student in school, what made you continue to keep on going? At 50, Go ahead. At
50. Well, I would say, as you stated, and that was just something, yes, going from one side of the campus to the other side of the campus. And these walks were not 5-minute walks. These were half an hour walks, sometimes 40-minute walks. But I did learn how to find the shortcuts. Not only were they walks, but I had to climb up hills at 50. And so that really started, prepared me or perpetuated me to start to exercise and eat healthy because
Yes.
that encouraged me to go that way as well. But what allowed me to stay in there, you have to have that self-determination. And once you say, I know it's not going to take long, because if I quit, I have to start all over, and I will never realize what the end would have become for me. And not only did I have to endure, Mr. Bennett, walking at 50 all across campus and being on the college campus with young people, but I had to endure almost being the only African American in majority of my classes for 2 years. And so University of Maryland College Park, they're really good about group setting. So they'll say, hey, we need everyone to get in groups. And most of the times, I'm 50 years old. I don't have time to play games. So I just say, excuse me, I'm in your group, and I'm the only one African American, and then I just say, hey, and then then I developed so many relationships blossom from that. So you have to have that self-esteem, that self-motivation, and you keep it moving, because once you figure that, hey, if I quit, you would never know what you could have been and what God has designed for you to do in your life.
Exactly. I think it's awesome. I tell you that it was inspirational for me. I said I'd never been on the campus before, and as I went through the campus, I said, well, a doctorate is in the line for me, and I said I really want to go back to school. So you really encouraged me from seeing you. I think it's awesome. Our mother got her degree when she was 48 from University of District of Columbia. Yes. And Roberta, our older sister, is in school now. She'll be 52 when she get her bachelor's degree, and you got yours at 50, and I think it's awesome. And one of the things, Rhonda, that I thought was very impressive was when we got there, when me and Mom and Roberta got there, and we looked, it was your husband, it was all of your children and your grandchild, all of them right there. And I tell you, it was just a blessing, because at the end of the day, I don't care how many invitations we send out. I don't care how many times we try to tell people, come and celebrate with us. At the end of the day, family is all we have. And that is what I try to explain to everyone. Even though you had other church members there and you had in-laws and all of that, but it's all about that family unit. And one of the things that I think that you should be proud of is one of the things that I appreciate is that, you do the very best that you can by your children, as well as you try to constantly keep a mainstream with not just the children, but the church, the husband, all that kind of stuff. So my last question before we switch to Christmas, how were you able to, and we're doing this to help the listeners, how are you able to cope with, you were going to school at 50, you were still working, because I know you was at the Bennett Babies Child Development for a minute, so you was doing that, you were working, you still taking care of your young daughter in college, your grandchild, you was taking her. How are you able to do all of that and still be in school?
Well, number one thing, I had to use wisdom. Moreover, I also had to learn to balance. Many a times my husband would come and say, do you want to go to the movies? And I would say, oh, I can't go to the movies tonight. And I'll go in the room and I'll just shut the door and just be up all night, pulling all-nighters and just working. But it's learning to balance, and it was very difficult, but prayer was my main source of line of getting the balance and being able to meet the needs of my children and being able to meet the needs of my daughter. She's at University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and if she will call and say, well, we're having a mother's daughter's brunch, I need you here, well, we're going to have this show, and I was saying, okay, I'll be there. And if my son will call and say, well, I need you to pick up the grandbaby or spend time, there was times, sure, I said no, and I felt really bad, but the Lord showed me that if you just stick with his plan and do the way that he would have you to do it, you will be able to spend that time. And it's now that I can do it, and there was times that it was very difficult, but it became manageable. I was able to learn to say no, which we have to do at times, and we're not going to feel comfortable in doing. But once you do it, they'll understand, and then you'll feel comfortable in doing it. But that was my main thing. And I do want to say I thank God for my husband, who was able to take on this as a sole supporter financially so that I can obtain this degree. And that was certainly a blessing on my side. And I thank God for his understanding of knowing that I could not always go to the movies or always go out or always spend time with him. But the time has come now. So we always have to learn that it's not going to be a moment of right then, right now, but it eventually comes as a process. So don't look for overnight change, and don't look to say yes to everything, but learn to balance and know that your family will still appreciate you. And always talk about why you can't.
All right, and everyone, we're talking. We're with family today. I have my sister on the line. I'm gonna have her hold for a minute. We have to go to commercial break, but today we're talking about what Christmas means to you. And one of the things that Christmas means to me is spending time with family. So we're talking, when we come back with Rhonda Banks, we're going to ask her, what does Christmas really mean to her? Call me, 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back after these messages.
To see a reindeer, simple phrase.
Yes, indeed. All right, everyone. Listen here. I tell you, it's so funny that everybody's just getting up. I tell you, on Twitter, Facebook, y'all to be ashamed of yourselves. But everybody's now tuning in, and we're so excited. We're back now with Rhonda Banks, my sister. She just graduated from the University of Maryland last week. Today's show, everyone, what does Christmas mean to you? It's all about family. And the funny thing is that, just to let everyone know that this wasn't planned, I happened at 10 minutes before the show, called my sister and said, call in. She had no clue that she was going to be my guest this hour on the show. But it's all about spending time with family. They said she had Rhonda, they said you had a wonderful dinner on last evening, your annual family dinner. I wasn't able to attend. They said that food was so good. I said, Lord have mercy on my soul. But I was under the weather yesterday, but I thank God I feel better today. And the funny thing is, we're talking about family. And I tell you, Rhonda, last night I said, I don't know what's wrong with me, because I wasn't feeling well. And then when your daughter Chloe said, did you want me to pick you up and bring you there, I got all emotional. I said, Lord, I said, is this going to be me 20 years from now, and Chloe coming to get me to take me to my sister's house?
Exactly.
All right, but listen, Rhonda, you hold the line. We have Trendy Lindy on the line. Trendy Lindy, I sure miss you here in the studio. Good morning. Talk to me, Trendy.
Good morning. Good morning, Sea Island and the 1450 radio family.
Good morning.
You will be very proud, Sea Island. There are 3 of the barbers already here, ready to cut the little children's hair. We just got here. We don't start prepping until 11, but they here early. They got their tools, and everybody's just excited. They got the Christmas hats on, and we are just excited.
All right. So what's happening? Trendy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, what's happening is we already announced to all of our listeners today that we are doing the free community work at Berry Farms in the community center. We explained to them that it's just for the community center. And I will be there around noon with all of the toys. Everyone at the Bennett Career Institute donated. We have over 300 toys that we're going to be giving out today to the families at Berry Farm. So Trendy Lindy she's on site there. That's why she's not with me in the studio. She's on site getting ready for our big community event. My one question, Trendy, because I can't take the credit, you came up with this event with the salon. Why do something like this on Christmas Eve, Trendy?
I thought that it was very important because Christmas is such a special time. It's a time for giving and a time for love. And we just want to be a blessing to the children, especially the children who may not have the privileges that some of our children may have. We just want to touch on them, love on them, cut their hair, make them look beautiful, and, let them know that, we love them. So we're just excited. I'm so excited because we actually have like 40 students that volunteered on Christmas Eve to come and take part in this. So it's just a very good thing just to see so many young people giving back to, other young people on Christmas. So I'm excited. Okay,
well, I think that's wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back today, Trendy, since you're not here. I'm sharing this hour with my sister, Rhonda Banks. She graduated. Okay. You remember?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First Lady Dane.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so today we're talking about Trendy. We're talking about so my last question before I hang up on you, Trendy.
Okay.
Because I love hanging up on phone.
Yes, you do.
So Trendy, my question, what I'm about to go into Rhonda Banks with, let me ask you, what does Christmas really mean to you?
Christmas is it has to be the most important holiday for me. It's the birth of Christ, so that's foremost. And then, Christ is love, so it's a time of the season where you give love and you spend it with family, and, you just treat each other, like Christ would like for us to treat each other. So it's very important to me. It's extremely important.
Okay. All right.
But I'm excited because we're giving, so much love to this community, and I can't wait to see the outcome, to see all of the little children. We have a DJ that's going to be here playing the Christmas music, so we're really going to have a great time today.
Okay, with Trinity, the only thing I want you to do is I want you to see if someone have a recording device, either on their cell phones or something, that we can do a little video so we can show at the reunion show in March. So we want to make sure we have somebody who can do a little videotape. But I'll be there at noon. And all right, so we'll see you. So that's Trendy Lindy, everybody. And she's on assignment. She's out working today. All right, Trendy, I'll see you shortly.
Merry Christmas, everyone. See you soon.
You.
All right. Okay, so Rhonda Banks, back to you. Now talk to me. Let's switch gears. Today we're talking about what does Christmas mean to you. Talk to me about that. What does Christmas mean to you?
First and foremost, as Trinity said, it is more about Christ than ourselves. He was sent. He's the anointed one, and that is our main focus, should be. That's what Christmas is really all about. It's about Christ. But in the same token, when we go down to the secondary reason, it's about family. And I just think about all the times that our mother and I put up these trees, and how we just gather around and we just had fun when we were just young, and we really didn't know that she didn't have the money. She couldn't afford it. But we really see that the gifts, it was so, and now that we're older, the gifts are okay. But the main focus is your love, your generosity, and the family unity and how we stay together, and it's mixed with love. Love and gifts. We don't get upset because we didn't receive a gift. We don't get upset because this didn't come. Because it's not all about running out there shopping and getting depressed because you can't find this gift and spending all your money and just have billions and billions of credit cards that you can't afford. It's about spending time with family and letting the family know that we are here for one another, just not on Christmas, but every day. Family should be very important to one another. But Christmas is a time that we come together. It's great food, Southern food, and we hear from our family in North Carolina. And then we think about the memories that we had with our father. He's no longer with us. Mm-hmm. But it's just a great time to spend together with one another.
So let me ask you this question, and I totally concur with everything that you said. Now, talk to the people that is, I have people who said to me, I mentioned it early in the show, where the guy said, well, Bennett, I couldn't come around because my friend stole 2 bikes so he could try to sell it to get Christmas for his kids. And everybody is running around trying to do everything. And I'm not saying that it's in the poor neighborhoods, because I'm sure probably everywhere everyone is trying to. I'm thinking that maybe because there isn't a spiritual base there, they're not understanding what Christmas really is about, or maybe they are, but because it's so commercial, that they feel like that they have to just get this and get that, get this and get that. What would you say to those people?
I would say, for one, start early. Look for those resources like what I've just heard that's getting ready to take place at 12 noon in Barry Farms community. And I wished I would have known. I would, try to have been there. But look for resources, always like Catholic charities at churches. And even maybe if you're really good friends with your neighbors, and and in the school, that is an excellent resources with the counselors. And you could speak with the counselors and let them know what you're going through. You don't have to tell it all, but you could tell some things. And again, the primary sources are or used to be churches, religious organizations, or the other family services organizations that they can go to, to get along and to get things for their, or to get gifts for their children. However, I don't think you have to go into a moment of depression to steal and to rob to get these items for your children if you, like you said, if they know the real meaning of Christmas. But everyone, especially children, would like to have things under their trees. So as you may know with our mother, everything may not have been new. Some things may have been given to us. We didn't know the difference, but we still had Christmas. We had each other,
Yes.
and that really made the difference. So I really would say seek other resources in the community to at least have something for your children.
And then, thank you, that's good. And one of our listeners just emailed me on Facebook about her issue was being alone on Christmas. She wanted to know from Sister Rhonda how can she be encouraged by being alone on Christmas? Before you say that, one of the things that's important, which I told some of the students, is that if you know that you're by yourself on Christmas, visit a senior building. Go to the hospitals. There are a lot of people that, of course, is going to be in the hospitals on Christmas. There's senior buildings, there's hospitals, there's all kind of places where you can go and share your love. And so what, you a stranger? It's all about giving back, and you can give back in more ways than just actually giving somebody a present. But we got to go to a short break. This is a short break this time. So hold the line. When we come back, the caller wanted to know what would you tell her being lonely during this holiday season. We'll be right back after these messages, everyone. This is the C. Allen Morning Show.
From 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas.
Good morning, this is WOL Traffic Updates brought to you by McDonald's. Did have the accident Monroe Street at 10th Street Northeast. Watch out for a little cleanup over there. Monroe and 10th Northeast, looks like they're getting that out of the way. New York Avenue looks good both ways, no problems. Getting there, inbound 50, southbound BW Parkway. All right, if you're heading up to BWI Marshall Airport, Baldwin Washington Parkway, 95 northbound, all incident-free so far. Celebrate the holiday season with a rich peppermint mocha or peppermint hot chocolate from McDonald's. I'm loving it. Now your WOL weather forecast brought to you by University of Maryland University College. For today, increasing clouds, some afternoon showers, highs in the 40s, partial clearing overnight down to 35 tomorrow, partly cloudy and high near 48. Battlefields invisible, the rewards are real. Earn your bachelor's or master's degree in cybersecurity from UMUC. Call 800-888-UMUC. Steve Hirshorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
When it comes to using their wireless phones, drivers everywhere are making safety their most important call.
You gonna get that?
Nah, it's tough just driving right now. I'll call them back when we get there.
Driving in bad weather, they're saving calls for later.
Hey, hon, the highway's crazy. Let's just talk when I get home.
Driving in challenging traffic, they're cutting calls short.
Terry, I just left the office and I'm in the car right now. Could you call back and leave those figures on my voicemail?
They're using voicemail to take notes for them instead of fumbling with a paper and pen. Your wireless phone can be your best safety tool to call for help, report accidents, or alert authorities to dangerous drivers. Don't let it become a distraction. When you're on the road, make sure your phone is in easy reach before you leave. Know all the features of your wireless device and always dial sensibly.
Dude, did you text Bob back? Not now. I'm driving.
The wireless industry, the Alaska Highway Safety Office, and your local police remind you, with wireless, safety is your call.
I'm offering
All right.
this simple phrase.
All right, happy birthday, Hezekiah Walker. Today is Hezekiah Walker's birthday. Tomorrow, Shannon Bennett's birthday is on Christmas. All right, Rhonda Banks, I want you to talk to, my time is almost up. I tell you, time go by so quickly. We only have about 10 minutes left on the show, but talk to me about my Facebook listener who just written. Talk to me about. She said that she's lonely around the holidays. She get emotional this time of the year because she's by herself. Talk to me.
Yeah, you made a very interesting point as far as volunteering. I would say that is a great resource that she probably could adhere to. and that is volunteering to go out, to go to these different places. But I also want to just say briefly that during this time, we were trained in the detention center to monitor our youth during this time, because this was the heightened season where where it was called suicide watch. So we had to be on heightened call for some of the residents that were there, just to make sure they did not try to commit suicide. Not saying that that is a degree of the level where she is, but what I'm saying, this is a reality for many people during this season here, especially, Christmas season. But I would say also this is a time that the brain is saying either positive thoughts or is receiving negative thoughts. So the best way to try to interrupt those thoughts, if they're negative, is to go out, to volunteer, to maybe go to the movies, also to deal with family members who she haven't seen in maybe a while, to give them calls, to maybe go over there to their home or something like that, or to a friend's home. And most definitely, I have to bring the spiritual aspect in. This will be a perfect time for her to brush up on scriptures, and maybe she can hear from the Lord during this time by opening up her Bible and going through some scriptures, and where he can certainly talk with her, meaning God can talk with her. If she is lonely and just feeling all alone, there are many different avenues that she could take. It just depends on what situation she's in. How is her family circumstances? Does she have a great relationship? Where is she standing with them? Is she able to go? And then if you're dealing with transportation, is she able to go out and go to the movies? It's a domino effect. So I certainly say volunteer for one, going out to the movies, writing a journal, how she's feeling, take that journal, write it down, and maybe 6 months from now she can see how she has come a long way for the next Christmas season.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so now listen now, but before we go, I wanted you to just talk to Rhonda Banks, is also the First Lady of Trinity Baptist Church. I wanted you to tell my listeners where Trinity Baptist Church, where's the location, and then I just want you to spend a moment talking about the church in case we have people, because this is the perfect opportunity that if someone is looking for a new church home where they could come to just receive God's blessings and just be a part of a great community church. So I want you to talk to me a little bit about Trinity Baptist Church for our listeners that are local.
Yes. Well, Trinity Baptist Church is 121 years old. It's been in that established for 121 years. We're located at 1814 Central Place Northeast, Washington, D.C., in Ward 5. And we're located in the Ivy City community. Ivy City community, you may have heard about it on the news lately, where they're trying to build the parking lot for the boat buses over at Cromwell School. We're right down the street from that location. And Ivy City community, I believe the poverty rate is at, it may have been 48% at the time in 2010. So most of our residents, or the people who live in our community, they're pretty much impoverished. However, we're there, and thanks to Bennett's career, you come out every year with the haircuts for the young guys in the community, and it is packed. I think we served over nearly 100 kids this summer for the children, and let's see, we're open from 10 a.m. Our church service starts at 10 a.m., and we're Wednesdays we have Bible study. And certainly we are a Bible-based church where Pastor William Banks Jr. is the pastor. He's been there for 15 years. And we are all about the community. We serve the young people. We serve the homeless. They have come for Thanksgiving meals, and we are constantly serving the community and whatever they need. So,
and you all just did the coat drive too.
Oh yeah, we did the coat drive for the community as well as for the Central Union Mission down on R Street. So we are about community based. And now that I do have my degree in family science, we will be incorporating more resources into the church, grant writing and all of that, so that we can serve the community more.
I think it's awesome. Well, I'll just say this because I have to wrap it up. One of the things that I appreciate about Trinity Baptist Church is not only the pastor who's my brother-in-law and you as the first lady, my sister, but also there is, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, listeners, but there's an annual trip, and I didn't do it this year, but the Trinity Baptist Church go to Woodbury Commons every year, and I'm telling you, I'm going to leave their number. She's going to give out the number to the church in a minute, but I'm telling you, you owe it to yourself. One of the best trips, you hear me mention it on the show before, one of the best trips you could go on. Not only is it just a shopping trip, but it's also about going up there with great movies. They have food, games, just a lot of great things, raffles. They give you a coupon book. And it's just an awesome time. But not only that, but you know what I realized, Rhonda, it's not really about the trip. It's about how the leadership in your church. It's about how you and the pastor, the relationship that you have with the people. Because everybody, even though we don't know any of those people on the bus, it has a family feel to the trip every year. And I think that is what it's about. It's about being a part of a church where it's not so big, it's not so busy, it's not so impersonal, but part of a church where it's about a family, it's about a feeling of being able to be committed. And I think that that's really good about the Woodbury Commons trip at the church. So listen, so what we want to do is we want to give out the number if there's anyone that want more information about the Trinity Baptist Church and the great things that you guys are doing there. And also if anybody wanted to donate to all of those missions that they have at the church, what's the number where they can reach someone at the church?
Sure, it's 202-526-4414.
202-526-4414 is Trinity Baptist Church. And listen, this is what Trinity Baptist Church and the Sea Island Morning Show going to do. I'm going to give everyone, listen, get that pen, write it down, get that pen, write it down. This has to be for first time people only. I'm going to give 10 $25 gift cards to our first 10 listeners who call me now. Now, of course, you know I'm not there, so you need to leave a message for me on the machine 202-526 1400 extension 19. For the first 10 callers, I'm going to give you a $25 gift card to the Sea Island Signature Salon. We're now featuring Rashawn Broadnax, the Rashawn Broadnax, who's the executive assistant. He's now back behind the chair. And I'm going to give 10 of you the wonderful opportunity to sit in his chair to get a hair service. And the great thing, Sister Banks, is on Saturday, we do a $25 regular special where you can get a $25 wrap and curl or blow dry and curl or wet set. And we do that mainly for a lot of church members who are on a budget. And it's from 7 to 10 in the morning at the 705 Florida Avenue location. I'm going to give the first 10 callers a free $25 gift card. That means that if you come on Saturday, you don't have to pay anything from 7 to 10. But any other time, you just have $25 to add to whatever service that you're getting. 202-526 1400 extension 19. Now, all of my great listeners like Nia and all of them, don't you call in for no $25 gift card because you done already got something. This is for people who've never been into the Sea Island Signature Salon. Verna Collins, all of y'all that call me week after week, no ma'am, this is not for you. All right, everybody. Sister Banks, I appreciate you. My time is up. I just thank you for allowing to spend this hour with me. This is my halfway of making up not being there last night, spending this hour with me. But I just appreciate you, and I just believe that there's so much more in store for you. I believe that the BA degree was just the beginning of what is to come. So I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to Trinity Baptist Church. Merry Christmas to everyone out there listening. To all of my listeners, do not be lonely. Do not be discouraged. Know that Sea Island have you in his heart. All right, everybody, my time is up. So remember, pamper yourself because it's your duty, because you deserve it. Have a good week. Bye-bye.